Coding Guideline 1C20A5 says the selection of the appropriate external cause code is guided by the alphabetic index of external causes and by inclusion and exclusion notes in the tabular list. So this one is very straightforward and very familiar to you already. And so let's go ahead and look at a couple of clinical scenarios to demonstrate this coding guideline. So the first one here says accidental drowning in bathtub. The second scenario is accidental drowning in bathtub due to fall. So we're just looking for the external cause codes here. So the first thing we need to do is make sure we're in the external cause index. And so when we are, we will look for the main term drowning, and then connecting term in, and then bathtub. And that's how we get W65, which is what you see here for this first example. And if that's the only documentation we have, we should choose W65 and check it in the tabular. Now, when we get to the tabular, we see this excludes one note, and it says it excludes one is accidental drowning and submersion due to fall in or into bathtub. And in that case, we would use W16.211 instead of W65. So we need to be really careful that we look at the documentation to see whether this drowning in the bathtub was or was not due to a fall, because that will change the code assignment from this W65 code to the W16.211. So let's say that the drowning was in the bathtub following a fall. We would use this path here to find this code, drowning in bathtub. And then here we go, following fall. This is how we get W16.211. And again, when we go to the tabular, we discover that we need a seventh character. Since this is assumedly the initial encounter, we will select W16.211A. The next coding guideline is Coding Guideline 1C20A6. And this one just says that an external cause code can never be a principal or first listed diagnosis. And this is very straightforward, so we don't have a clinical scenario for this. It's just so you remember that the external cause codes are secondary codes, and when you're in the inpatient setting and you have a principal diagnosis, that would go first. The outpatient setting, we refer to the first diagnosis as first listed. But in any case, the external cause codes can never be principal or first listed.